Okay, YouTube, good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, so it's 9:10 a.m. Monday morning, May 8th. May 8th. Time is going fast. The fifth month already. So, hope for those of you on YouTube, likewise, I was just telling Discord members, hope you guys had a good weekend. Hope you guys are feeling good and are ready to go. So, without any further ado, as I'm seeing LMD, what's going on? Good morning, good morning. Rick, what's up? Ivan, the Attic, how you doing? How you doing? Mohammed, Brad, guys, hit that thumbs up and let's jump into the discovery section here for the gap scan at Momo of the Pro. So there's a couple of stocks that I saw that I like that I'm keeping an eye on. So first we have EZFL, which I'll pull this one up here on screen. Let's go to recent. So EZFL, where we at charts? Yeah, so we're up 59%, which is great. Around 350, 2 million shares of volume, and 26 million shares in the float. It has pulled back a little bit from the number one stock I'm realizing here, and there are two more which we'll take a look at. But since we have this one up, let's get the trend lines in place. So pre-market highs are at 531. Low of this pullback, the second candle of this move, we had a low of 316, a little lower. Right now around 348. I'd want to see if we can hold a little tighter. So I'm going to look at this candle at 15, which has a low of 38. Can we hold 38? We've come down before to 44 and now at 40. So can we hold this level? Can we get back above VWAP? If we do, I'm seeing here a little bit more of a higher midpoint. Let's see, 428 area. 428. Can we break 428 for a midpoint? VWAP down there 88. So, we're below the whole dollar on VWAP. If we get over 4, can we see 428? If we break 428, I'd expect a move to the pre-market highs. How are we looking on the daily chart? EZFL. Okay, so the 200 EMA, let's see. It looks like we're back below the level. E-Trade is telling me, about 456 or so. And looking at the chart, we do have some candlesticks with some wicks. This is in a recent time frame, but volume pretty light though in these areas, right? Going back to January, recently we had a high point around 372. This is last month, but not a lot of volume. We are back below that level though. So, we'll see how this one does. The pre-market areas will be good to keep an eye on, and all-time highs, which I don't think, this one will get to, maybe unless it goes parabolic, right? That's all the way at 43. So we got a couple of candlesticks, but nothing very significant that's standing out. Of course, we can map out levels around 491, and a couple of these high points. But we'll see. All right, we'll see what this one does. I'll keep an eye on the pre-market levels, and we'll see what happens there. Time 13. I'm gonna come back to this one. Towards the end, I'll come back to it. We'll see. It's pulling back here for now as well. So moving on, BLCM, which seems to have taken first place here. Okay. All right. It's looking decent. So BLCM up over 160%, above $1, 15 million shares of volume, 7.9 million shares in the float. BLCM. I'll put this one up here. Yeah, it doesn't look bad, but this is a nice move here so far. It could be a little on the more extended side. And by the way, let me make sure to alert the MMU members. I'm waiting on Rob to confirm his email, but I believe it's him. We still have to do protocol. That way I can give him access to the portion up above in Discord. But anyhow, not to get distracted there. Yeah, so BLCM, I'm going to start with after hours from Friday, where we had a high point of 102. I'm going to first map out that level, 102. I'm going to highlight that in blue. So far today, nice move, right? We opened up, much higher, earlier pre-market here around 4 a.m., 93 cents, but it pulled back and we had a low of 65. So this is quite the move right now. I'm already asking myself, is this extended? This is quite the move for the people who are trading pre-market. Their day is probably already over. They're probably already nicely green and traded the stock well. So, it's a little extended here. It's already up 165%. We'll be asking a lot of it to keep going. So can we see, I mean, the market can be rationally strong, as we know. Can we see 150 out of this, right? Is what I'm asking myself right here, right now. Is that possible for BLCM? Looking at the daily chart, we got, I'm noticing a few days ago, we had this high point 107. We are above the 200, which is good. And now we're going to be coming back into this range here. So we'll get some trend lines going there. Yeah, I'm going to map out 107 as well. So back in this cluster, this is going back to February of this year. We had a high point at 143 and then 150. So can we get up there to 150 again? That's the level I'd love to see out of this into the open. That will give me a lot of time to, be able to get a good trade in and, get in and get out, right? Today, when we talk about the opening statements, giving back profits on those pullbacks, we're going to be watching out for. We're going to be very careful today. We had 2 red days in a row, Thursday and Friday, days where we were green, red, and not walking away green. So yeah, zooming out some more, we'll see what it does if it does get over 150. There's a couple of more high points going up, to $2, $2.20, but we'll see as the stock continues to pull higher. IMRN, next on the list. IMRN, is this one worth looking at? It's currently around $3, 60%, 4 million shares of volume, 4 million shares in the float, about a 10% gap versus Friday's levels. IMRN. This stock is now at 120. Again, and also we have to think about the halt levels. What type of category is this one going to be, placed in? Some stocks, the halt levels are wider. Sometimes they're closer, even as a cheaper stock. So, we'll see. We'll see how this one is graded, and that'll determine how tight or how wide the bands will be for the halt levels. That stuff is tricky. I had to research when I was creating the classes. I had to research that like thoroughly, like to really get it down. It's still a little complicated though. What I haven't found is what determines the classification of the stock, right? Because what was said is that there's like 2 grades, and it can be like, let's say, class 1 or class 2, but there was nothing that indicated the class. So if you're good at math, you could do the math and understand where the halt level should be if you know which class it's in. But anyhow, right, not to get too distracted there again. IMRX pre-market highs at 361. Let's see, the lows of this pullback, we had 282, which I hope we can hold above. Let me bring down this volume, because that chime is going to be going crazy. John, Lucas, how you guys doing? Wrong bet, good to see you. Wrong bet, we got to check in, man. Give me a call today whenever you're free. Let me know if you're here. Yeah, so IMRN not looking bad again, 361, and we got 282. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Where's that 200 EMA? IMRN. Okay, so we're curling up. Nice move. Going back. Let's see. The only thing that's coming up is this cluster that we had in January of 2022 with a high point of 40. And it did reject 40, or let's say this general area between 40 and let's say 20. So for potential resistance, IMRN. Yeah, wrong bet. Good to see you, man. Another beautiful day. Right? Another beautiful day. Here we go. See, that's the thing with the markets is that, we can't just say another day. Like, I remember working at Amazon and people would walk in the building, here we go, another day, right? With trading and the potential and what can be done and understanding, what the market really is this what seems to be like, ocean of opportunities, right? It's hard. We know it is hard, right? We understand and we accept the challenge, which is why we're here. But we still have to always make sure we're excited. And so when we show up here, it's just not another day. It's another beautiful day, right? Something to be excited for. And as I'm walking away, uh, you guys see my red shirt today, right? So you know what that means. Relentless trader is coming in to dominate. This should be very, very fun and interesting. And I'm gonna always look forward to the opportunities. So KB, where are those bulls? Please tell me that they're gonna be outside today. All right. So yeah, we had this cluster 440, 420, potential resistance, and then we'll move on to the next stock. I do see we had a rejection candle to around 406. My 200 EMA is like off. I'm not sure why this is happening at times. Some stocks, it's both the brokers are spot on, and then other stocks, it's like it's not as accurate as it should be. The bulls were out for Cinco de Mayo, man. Well, one thing with the market is that even when people party or have fun, they know what to, how to prepare, right? They know how to prepare, they know how to be ready. And so I expect the bulls to already have recovered, rejuvenated, and fully dialed in, fully, right? So yeah, let's continue here. Time, it's 22, so it's pretty early. Which one of these stocks, is going to take off into the open, right? Which one is going to be the one? So far, BLCM seems more obvious than the rest, but I do think it's a little extended, right? We have to mention PACW. PACW, I think, is one to keep an eye on. It moved well the last couple of days. I didn't really trade it the first day, but it was decent, right? Friday. And today it's up again. So we can put some quick levels here and then move on. We got pre-market highs at 817. This stock has not been bad. It sold off recently. Right, it sold off recently, but it's curling back up, small bounce. So today there might be some small opportunities there as well, especially if the main stocks are a little weaker. Friday's high we had what was that, 622. See, and it's a good thing I have this alarm here because I completely forgot about recording the other screen. So guys, make sure your screen recordings are turned on, right? Your screen recordings. Make sure that you are recording your screen. That way you can study up later. So even if you have to set an alarm for it or anything like that, make sure that you're good to go. So yeah, there we go. Yeah, PACW, we'll see what this one does. Again, the daily chart, we sold off, so we're attacking some previous candlesticks. Could have some bag holders, but it's been going up nicely. So, we'll see if it provides an opportunity or two throughout the day. I'm going to write up the list here, and BLCM, I'll watch into the open. We'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself here. Donna, I'm still watching for this message from Rob here. If he replies in time. Okay, so BLCM, we're looking good. Let's make sure everything's in place. Share size for this type of price range, of course, we'll just start with 3,000. IMRN 290. We'll put 2,000 starter. ECLF, EZFL rather. I'll lose 1,600. Oh, let's do 1,500. And then I'll increase. So the main thing for me when it comes to share size, it's all about the risk really, right? Because I'm risk first. There are some more aggressive traders who are, you know, maybe they'll look at the reward a little bit more, but I prefer to be risk first. So, you know, it's all about what am I willing to lose here, right? How much am I willing to sacrifice for the potential reward, right? So I'll, you know, I think if the spreads are tight, I can, you know, increase size or at least maintain size. And if I see anything where we're getting big flushes and the downside risk is just as high as the upside potential and reward, then I'll reduce size or maybe not even trade the stock at all. It has to be in favor of the patterns and the strategy, right? If not, then we're fighting a losing battle. So we have to be disciplined too towards trading the A quality opportunities, of course. So I'm going to quickly write up the list here and we're good. We already have Marcelo's detailed watch list up top, of course, which is provided at 9 a.m. every day. We love his consistency as usual. BLCM, IMRN, EZFL, and PACW as a maybe. All right, looks pretty good. BAK I saw, but it sold off, right? BAK. That one was the one that was getting halted on Friday. Check, check, check. 2-minute warning is coming up. Check, check, check. Looks good, looks good. Discord. Boom, boom, boom. Everything looks great. There it is. Okay. Are you guys ready to rock and roll? So for the game plan, you know, the old plan is the new plan. That's today's plan, right? Today I'm coming in looking to be disciplined, looking to be focused. I mentioned a couple of things, right? As Rob is messaging me, yes, and he's confirming the email. So yeah, a couple of things here. Let's see, can I do this quickly? Settings, members, Rob. There we go. There's a lot of Robs in here. All right, Rob, you're all set. And you can join us up top in the MMU live chat, by the way. Yeah, so, you know, I'm coming in looking to be disciplined and, you know, it's all about following the rules. I know exactly what I need to do to give myself a high chance of success today. And that's exactly what I will do. I always trust myself to be disciplined. And so, you know, with that being said, let's be the best managers that we can be, right? There's no boss here telling us when to buy, when to sell, where to go in. So we have to be disciplined about what we know works and stick to the strategies. Stick to the A quality opportunities that we know. And we have to be fearless, right? We have to be courageous. Even if there's some level of fear, be courageous. Step up, buy where you need to buy, cut the trade where you need to cut the trade. And in doing so, we'll give ourselves a good chance of having a nice, successful day. So BLCM, and I want to be careful of giving back profits in the consolidation and on the pullback, over trading the consolidation and over trading the pullback. We're going to try and retain the green as best as we can here, get in, and not give back. And with that being said, we have to not start deep into the red, which is also something to keep out, keep an eye out for. We got a high of 17 and a low of 12. There are some sellers here. The low is now at 8. Oh, my level 2 is lagging. Not good. If it goes here, I'll miss the trade. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. The halt is at 29. Not Thinkorswim. The DAS platform is gonna mess me up there. See, that's not good. We're gonna miss out on an entry down at 12. It's potentially getting halted here at 30. We'll see if it gets locked in. It looks like it will. There's a lot of big bids. My instruments, man. My instruments at times being very costly. So we're locked in at 130. Nice move. The first 1 minute candle to make the new high. And of course, break over the sellers really that were at 13 is what I would have been watching at. Or was it at 12? 12 or 13, we had the 80,000 share seller sitting. Twin, good morning. Good to see you. So in 5 minutes time, we'll be having the resumption, assuming it's a 5-minute halt. It could potentially be a 10-minute halt as well. So rotation, how are we doing PACW? Sold off, but curled back up. And maybe there's something here. There's a huge seller at 50, 300,000 shares. But if it breaks that seller, I'd be interested. So there might be something here, but we'll have to see. I wonder if it's a, fake order. We'll have to wait and see if we can get up there. There's also a big bid at 35. I'm not going to touch it though. We're seeing 200,000 shares. Seems like it might be more than one of them. There's 48, 49, and right back down. What's the other one again? EZFL. It's curling up a little bit. 49. 49, PACW. 48, 48. Again, if we can break that seller. But it does have some range to the downside here, though. A bit of a spread, right? We'll see if that bid moves up. No, it's going to be a fake order. Look at how it just flushes down. What are the odds they cancel that, right? Okay, moving on from this nonsense. Let's get this off the screen. Get this stock out of here. I'm not frustrated or anything. I am a little disappointed though that I'm not, I didn't capture the first trade because there was an entry there, and it could have allowed me to be more aggressive once we held over 18. So instead of going to 6 or 9,000 shares, I just stuck at 3 and I came out a little soon too. You know, versus like selling 3,000, holding 3,000. Can we get the halt up? It's like a different approach if I can capture that first trade. So, you know, under resumption, I'll have, you know, hopefully it's a strong resumption first and foremost. And besides that, I'll have to be accurate here because I am a little behind. So we got to be accurate. We got to get ourselves in the green and then start to protect the green. We got halted at 31.48. So we'll resume at 36.48. We got about a minute and a half. Easy FL, nice curl here, but it's very spready. So if it opens up higher, can we get a pullback? If we do and it starts to hold, I'll take it. If we open up sideways, it's a little bit trickier, but it depends on the price action. If it opens up lower, a break of high of day, I'll probably be in. It all depends. Easy FL at VWAP, but we got about 20 seconds here to this resumption. I got 3,000 shares up top here at the ready. We're halted at 130. 10 seconds, assuming it is a 5-minute halt. 5, 4, 3, here we go. Not good. That was a poor trade. I'm gonna get caught into this halt down. False halt. Jeez Louise. I can tell you. The dip is not going to bounce. But I'm too aggressive there, too soon. Easy FL, rejecting VWAP. This could be bad. It could be bad, depending on where it resumes. Ay. Anyhow, easy FL. It's currently at 44. It's a little sideways. We'll see how it does. It seems like a couple of the other guys are also long, but Relentless Trader is long on the higher side. 24. On the resumption, the price action I thought was coming to the buy side. Easy FL is it's a little choppy here. We can pull it up. Yeah, it's back down. So it looks like it's rejecting VWAP. This one could be good later, but we got to make sure it's holding above VWAP. Relentless Trader. The aggressive Relentless Trader taking the dip before it stops dropping. We'll see where this resumes. And at worst case, I think maybe a $600 loss. If it opens up at 20, I'd be ready to buy it back. But it depends on where it opens. If it's sideways, if it's back up, it could be good. If not, it all depends. PACW back down and at the lows. Easy FL is back up, but very weird here. Sellers coming in. The downside risk is definitely present here. Again, can we get above the VWAP and hold above the VWAP area? Resumption on the other one will be at, what was that, 42 and 8 seconds. 42 and 8 seconds. The stock is extended if we include the pre-market context. Again, a little aggressive of an entry here as I'm in the halt down. So we're waiting there. EZFL is trying, but will we see it over 65? We got about 2 minutes to that resumption. 2 minutes. My market order is out to sell, so I don't have to worry about it, but are we holding up here? Will we get a dip before it goes is the real question. No fills. I'm gonna leave those orders for a second. Yeah, no fills. Titanic. Yep, Titanic. Well, not good. To the depths. All right, let's get ready for this resumption. Now that's gonna put us a little bit more red than we would want to. BLCM in the next minute. So is this gonna resume sideways? Is it gonna resume lower, higher? Right now I'm seeing 115 for resumption, 106. It's even showing 135. Some people will go off of that level. For me, it's just, it can open up anywhere. It just depends. Again, my sell order is out, so wherever it does open, that's where I'll get the fill, hopefully, presumably. EZFL, nasty rejection there, man. Along low 70s, watching for it to hold 60s area, maybe even high 50s, but it completely flushes out. So notice how I'm trying to buy into the previous high of day where we had the resistance. Usually, as a couple seconds here to resumption, it's pretty strong. Here we go. 05. Jeez Louise. That was a pretty low resumption. Well, that's how you start a day down 600. Not great. We got a low of 101. High of the resumption was 12. At least it's showing a wick. I'm not sure if an order got filled up there. Mentally, I feel good. We kind of had some rough trades, but just waiting here, we're seeing a lot of weakness. This stock does need a pullback versus those pre-market levels. So, will we hold up around the $1 area? Will we pull back a little bit more? I haven't gotten caught in a halt down in months, like with actual size. I got caught, like I think last month in one, but just 500 shares on a big green day. So it was like, okay, whatever. Fairly high fill there. Can we re-average here? Let's see. So we got a low of 01. Watching to see if it continues to hold up above this level. Maybe we could get a longer hold trade back into a next halt. I don't know if it could be possible, but we'll see. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5. That's the 1 minute candle not making the new high. PACW, how are we doing? IMRN as well, how are we doing? IMRN holding up fairly well. PACW not so good. So IMRN. IMRN doesn't look bad, but it is pulling back below VWAP. I do like the pattern that we had, a nice ABCD to curl back up. Low 94. It's moving. Okay. High 21. The other one seems to be having a hard time. Do not Titanic again here. It's a nice entry at 88. It looks like it might be struggling. Ay, ay, ay. Man, we are seeing some weakness here. All the way to 80 for IMRN. The last low is 94. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here in a sec. Is it finished? Yes, it is. So IMRN also failing here. These pullbacks are not even pulling back. Well, let's say not holding up. They're just pulling back. Pulling back to the depths. Well, at this point, I'm just going to reduce size. I mean, I have no choice at this point. What a massacre here to start this day. What is this? 5 trades? 5 trades. Hold up. Well, a little bit more than 5 trades. But we're down $900 in the blink of an eye. Well, I got to roll my eyes at this one. Will we see a strong stock here? If not, then, we're not looking good. Maybe we make back something, but not anything, enough to be back in the green nicely. Or even flat. A little too aggressive for that halt trade, man. A little too aggressive. But besides that, we're seeing a lot of weakness. BAK selling off. BLCM again having a hard time. But it's pretty similar to Friday and Thursday where the upside areas are really good and then the pullback's just not holding up well at all. So if you're buying the pullback is going lower. So maybe not quite as good an adjustment as I needed to make for this new day. So again, the front side right here going up, nice move. Really nice move, good green candles. The pullback, the first pullback holds, the second pullback to the depths. So it's just a matter of capturing the front side and not trading the pullback. If you miss the front side, it might be better to wait for a high day trade again versus the pullback trade. I liked 87 for an entry, which was the midpoint of the ABCD coming across right here. BLCM, I think maybe curls back up later. So maybe around and we've been seeing that like around 11:30, 12, and that's where I've been taking a break. So today, and what I was really telling myself this week, and right, the weekend is to shorten the break if I do take a break, or sit tight and then just be done around 12, because we're not really seeing a lot of power hour, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. action. It's just been, the first hour and then, something around 11:30 and then we're finished. last week we did well on the front side of the week, and then the back half of the week we didn't do so well. We had the big 4K day, which was nice. But other than that, I think we had like a $200 green day, and then we had the two other red days, Thursday, Friday. TRVN. We'll see. Uh, Time 47. So 52.47 for resumption. How's the chart? How's the daily chart looking? See, the question is, are we gonna see something strong here? Volume was decent into the halt. TRVN. Mentally, I feel great. Just a matter of will we see opportunities. TRVN. These last couple of days, it's been hard to determine which stock is the stock, right? I mean, BLCM to start the day, nice move into the halt. And here we are as it's back down. But as we mentioned, throughout pre-market, it was so strong that we might have needed that pullback. The 200 is all the way at 376. So we'll see what this one does. I'm gonna size down to 1500, and if it's good, we'll see. And then I can size up, but we got to make sure it's good first. TRVN. There we go. So far, so good. Will we see a pullback? Probably not. No pullback. No pullback. No pullback. So again, we got to be careful that the pullback doesn't just fail here miserably. 24, 25. The halt up is now at 43. High of day 34. Can we see the break of 30? Can we see the next halt up? $43. Will we get locked in? It looks like it might. All right. We're going to go back to full size. And again, we have to be accurate on the resumption. It didn't really dip. From 34, we had a low of 24 and then curled back up. Considering we came from 110, not quite as big as a pullback as I would have wanted to see, but break of 30 gave a nice opportunity for retested highs. Big bids, and a lot of selling on BLCM here. I gotta watch back the auto resumption. I can't believe man. Sometimes you just you make a small mistake somewhere along the lines. But you know, I'm still gonna mention though, you know, the lag in the level two and missing the entry at 12. You know, on a day like today, you really see how costly it is because you know I don't know if I would have made $1,000 in the move up, but I certainly would have been very much more green than $70. It's hard to say how much I would have been up, but you know, big sellers at 112. Once it breaks 112, there's the entry. Hive days at 18. You know, there's no telling what I could have done. You know, I'd have to trade it. You know, I don't know if I would have added or not, but I know I could have made more, which could have helped offset the loss, right? There needs to be a balance. And so if you miss the winning trades for one reason or another, then there's then the imbalance to the red side. So we got a second halt, which is fine. But there will be a little bit more risk here. We got to be careful. We got to connect, capture the trade. So resumption, 58 and 53 seconds. We got another minute and a half. Guys, don't forget to stay hydrated. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that thumbs up. You know, only Relentless trader will smile in the face of some red trades and not even be phased. So hit that thumbs up and, you know, let's see what we can't do here. After all this trading, it's like you become so numb to it, man. You know, you're up big green. It's like, whatever. I should have done this. Anyways, you're here red. It's like, okay, what is this nonsense? But, you know, the emotions are always the same. The LCM curling up a little bit. Big move on IMRN right there and right back down. I mean, I don't know. It was tough with these big drops, man. Did it really go to 340? If I happen to take a good loss here, I'd consider just taking, you know, like shutting it down and just taking it slow. Or at the very least, just taking it slow. I'm not going to fight against the market if we're not going to see, you know, like I need to be on the side of the market, not against it. So if the sentiment is just too weak, then it doesn't make sense to, you know, push. So it just depends on how the stock, you know, if it shows strength here. $58. Resumption is at 53. The big Steve with the call out. TRVN. Here we go. 2. Good resumption. Will we see a pullback? Halting down with some big sellers. Doesn't seem like we'll see a false halt down here either. IMRN. If we would have held over 50, I was ready to go 6,000, maybe 9 for test of the highs, but IMRN moving up. These stocks are so tricky, man. We got this type of wick in here. Charting is ruined. But it is giving opportunities. There's a small bid in there, 10. I didn't see this play out, so I don't know if it was like one of those fake wicks. You know, sometimes somebody just throw out a crazy, let's say like market order or limit order all the way up. They get some insane fill, it kind of ruins the charting. So it's fluctuating here. The last entry I took, I was trying to buy a pullback around 288. I got about a 4 or 5 cent spread at times. Okay. Low of the last was 06. If I can help it, if I'm in, I'm not going to let it go against me, not unless it flushes. So I'm going to be pretty scalpy here. I wonder if it needs more. No, it looks like it might be okay here. Let's see. The level 2 is moving very weird, man. It's holding. It's holding. Probably in a little too high right there. We got a low of 3, low of the last, also 3. There's buyers, but it's not bouncing. This one is something else. I don't know. I'd probably leave this one alone, man. The level 2 on this one is very, very tricky. So we lost about 5 cents, 6 cents. I think about 6 cents maybe in that trade. The level 2 on this one, very tricky. Hopefully it holds up at 88 though, but very tricky. So yeah, resumption. We got, let's pull this other one back on screen, TRVN. So like right now, if I go back to being down 900, I'm done on this day, right? That's where my max loss would be. I still feel good mentally, but again, it's like if we're not seeing anything, then I'm not gonna just, be here wasting money, right? So TRVN, resumption coming up. 04 and 24 seconds. I'm seeing 49, I'm seeing 31, I'm also seeing 16. I don't know which one it'll be. If it resumes higher, that'll be good though. It might resume 49, hopefully. Here we go. 30. Low 23. I'm gonna size down for now. Halt down is at 14. We do have a bid, but not quite. It's having a hard time here. Nice break of 30. There's a 30,000 share seller. 10,000 share bid coming in right after we broke the seller, but not quite pushing 35.40. BLCM back down. What a disaster of a start to this day. I mean, what in the world? Come on, pull away, pull away. I'll add here if it pulls away. Not quite. So are we going to see a red to green here, or is this finished? If it doesn't get over 35, do we have shares? No, it's not available. Too early? Yes, too early. It's at 27, 29. It seems like it's having a hard time. Maybe closer to 33 could be good if volume is coming in. The other one really pulling back, 97. Well, at least we made back something, which is good. SMX, OKYO. SMX, yeah, moving nicely. I like the daily chart in this one. Jeez. SMX. SMX, nice flag, nice breakout. Seems like it's holding up all right. Still keeping an eye on TRVN here, though. If it gets back above 35, I would be interested. Our volume profile still looks good. It's holding up 25 so far. Give me an entry here. Do not just go. Ay, ay, ay. 35. Great fill. Will we get locked in? I was gonna hold it, but I'm like, you know what? Let's not. It's not a bad hold though. It's not a bad hold here. It looks good. Should have held half size. I'm gonna size back up full size. This is great. I kind of missed it a little bit looking away. So I didn't get the perfect entry there before the breakout, but something. KT. KT. If I'm feeling all right mentally, of course I can still trade, but you know, it's the days where you can feel like compromise, or let's say if you feel compromised or frustrated, angry, it's better to just leave the market because you're at a disadvantage. But mentally I feel good. You know, when you're seeing those green days, it's like, you know, being down 1,000, and I've been down $1,000, you know, maybe too many times, but it's part of trading, right? Feel good, you just keep trading A quality opportunities and keep doing what you know you love to do. But it's all about the control, man. If I had red trades, I would have just said, okay, you know, I'm not gonna push it because again, I want to be swimming with the tide. If I'm swimming against the tide, then not good. So on this resumption here, we have to be accurate again. But you know, I feel good. Let's see what it does. I'll trust the entries I know and love, and even if I happen to have a red trade, no problem. Right, part of the deal. So, but of course, looking for a nice trade here. We got a full house up here. Cam, what's going on? John. Pretty soon we're gonna have to figure something out, man, because I know they only allow 50 people at a time. Tiny, nicely done. SMX pulling back a little bit. Maybe it holds up 195. Resumption will be at 13 and 46 seconds. I don't think holding into this halt would have been bad. The setup is there. Maybe a little too much fear on my side. I made up my mind to hold into it, which is why I bought back at 42. But then I told myself, okay, maybe I'm pushing it a little too much. But you know, I generally don't hold into halts. Just because of the risk of offerings and stuff like that. But you know, what are the odds? It's like you gotta really get unlucky to get caught in one of those. And then even if you do, it's just part of the deal, right? I mean, stuff happens. So can we resume, you know, at 50 here and then try for high of day? Hopefully there's a dip so I can get back in, or even just an entry, really, high of day or something. This was a nice trade. I know some of you guys probably held from 25 and then boom, curling up. 40 seconds and counting, waiting patiently. Guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up, of course, and if you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. I go live each and every weekday morning at 9:15 a.m., the sweet spot. We're halted at 144. 5 seconds. Here we go. 3. Here it is. Can we get a dip? Oh, not quite the entry I wanted there. It's aggressive out of that halt. That was a good trade. We should see a new high. There it is. We should see a halt too, hopefully. I missed the dip at 55 being slow. Pull back again. Or halt. There's a small seller there. It might need a bigger pullback eventually if it continues to linger here. It's all over the place. There's some big selling, some big buying. Hard to tell which way it wants to go. The halt down is 51. Don't need to be caught in a second halt down, so I'm not going to be aggressive here. Okay, there's some buying again. Oh, they filled me high. Was aiming 56 right there. Can we see some big bids? Small size so I don't get hurt in case it drops here. Can we see a new high of day? Oh, not quite. Highs are at 78. How are those not winning trades, man? Low 52 for the last. We got a low of 60 on the current. The new 5-minute candle's 3 minutes out. 78 is still high of day. God. 72. False halt, low 65. I like that we have high of day volume here. It needs to get halted at this point. Can we get locked in? It needs to get locked in. It needs to get locked in or we could see a big drop off, which we don't need. Come on. Watching for a pullback. I have to be good at the timing of the pullback. If it doesn't, because we're not getting halted, so you know what's going on here. We need a drop. How low will it go if it pulls back? Not touching it here, not unless I see something I really, really like. Small bids. Not impressed. But it's doing its thing, though. It's trying to climb. Still got to be careful with bigger flushes where it doesn't hold up its levels. So I'll be a little quicker. There's a good bit. I'm going to miss it. I looked away at the wrong time. Ay, ay, ay. You look at the charting for 1 second. Good bid. We're still seeing big bids, but not getting the push into the halt level. We had really good volume on that last candle. Sizing down here. It seems like there's buyers here, but waiting a little bit more. Well, we see the new halt. 82, 82. It's not pulling away. I'll be out flat. It might even get halted down. It's very possible because the levels are so tight. 68, a low 63. The halt down being so close makes it hard to take the dip. It's reacting well. Few sellers, 70. Yay or nay? Oh, yes, yes, it was going. Jeez. Man, not good. Not good. Sold that too soon. That was some great timing to get into the trade, but then the breakout, I'm watching like, okay, you know, it's I'm looking at this subtlety in the price action for just a little bit more hint of buying. So as I'm not seeing it for those couple of seconds, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it comes back down to 66, or let's say like 67 one more time. I'm gonna just average lower and, you know, make sure I don't get caught in the halt down if it does fail. And can we see the move back up? I'm out a little too soon. That would have been nice. But the good news is that we're back to flat, I think. We're back to flat. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable, this red start to the day. Just, we said we had to avoid it and we didn't. Missing that trade was not good. And, you know, once it pushes up to 90, it doesn't give any sort of quick pullback to get in. It just halts up. If it works out slightly differently, I probably add again to 4,575 with a tight stop right at 70, and I'm watching for that push. As long as it's not a false breakout there, we see a nice elevation, 78, 79. My average probably will be like 74, 73, and uh, I'm watching for it to go. But being in high like that, it's not really great. I'd still consider it high because the lows were at 63. But the key is that if I'm in right there, 72, 73 average, as long as the move is happening, like if the move is starting, then we shouldn't really pull back. So, you're still in fairly okay with some sort of size, and you can at least get 10, 15 cents into the next move. So I expect it to break over $2 here. And hopefully there's entries. So the way I'm watching at this, this is now the first halt up all over again, right? Stock has been strong. It's been the only one to not really give out after the pullback, right? The other ones kind of just pulled back and then that was it. So in another 5 minutes, at this point, can we, the aim, I'm down $100, right? Here's the goal. Here's the goal right now. Can I, on this resumption, between this resumption, let's say it gets halted again, between now and, let's not even go there. Just whatever happens here, can we get on some good green, and then from there we just size it down. Even if I'm just green $200, whatever it might be, we just call it a victory. Starting the day down 1 grand is not good. Literally, we avoid the red start. We're up 1K on the day. It's a nice day. So, but in the chop, right, it all comes down to, will there be a stock that will be strong, right? If there is, then we stand a great chance of getting back green. But if there's nothing, like if this stock had failed miserably, more than likely I probably would have took another good sized loss somewhere, and then that's the day down 1300, and red day recap. It just comes down to, can the stocks hold up and will they keep going? So I'm going to look at the daily chart just from some extra analysis. I still think we don't have any major resistance until the 200 EMA is what I'm seeing here. So I don't know how far this one can go, but hopefully it keeps going. So I've sized down a little bit. I'm going to use 2500. I'm not quite at 3K. I'm going to use 2500. We got to connect, and then we can can try and ease it down if it looks like it might want some pullback or something like that. So we got about 40 seconds. 40 seconds to resumption. $18 seconds. We're halted at 190. It all comes down to the price action here. 10 seconds. TRVN. 4, 3, here we go. Lower resumption. Okay. Not expecting that, but all right. Not expecting that at all. I still think it's pretty bullish though. Okay, we need to pull back. We came from that low. Let's see, where was the last pullback? So we consolidated, we made a move, we pulled back. Low was 63. I want to see a sideways resumption here. If it resumes sideways and we get the buy side, it could be good. But we still got to be careful. Hopefully it's not on the back side already. SMX. Is there something on the 5 minute that I need to see here? Yes, there is. Big topping wick. Highs at 42. It's curling up nicely here, but not gonna touch it. IMRN, I should have known better, man. I think just lack of discipline there. It just the spreads were just too much. I don't know why he touched it. Just need to be more selective in that aspect. IBRX. You got to be a little bit more selective in that type of area, man. No need to waste $200 trying to trade a stock with 15-cent spread. And not only is the spreads opening up, but you know, we're seeing some random drops where in places we shouldn't even be pulling back 30, you know, let's say 20 cents. It's moving up nicely, moving up, and then boom, the bids just vanish. Too much risk. So resumption 3408. 3408. Yeah, we'll see how it does, man. We'll see how this does. So SMX going sideways here, and BAK quick rotation selling off. BLTM down and sideways. CVNA not much, small bounce. EZFL no good. IBRX, I think this one is a higher float. IMRN, not just a mess. PACW, TRVN. So yeah, TRVN, you know, seems like it's pulling back. Sometimes I'm not watching for the pullback depending on situation, because I've seen some crazy stuff, you know, and I'm pretty sure everybody here has, right, over the years, especially for the traders who've been around. We've seen some stocks do some things. Now, that's not to say that should be the expectation always, but usually under this type of circumstance, stocks open up higher, they do something, and then maybe they pull back. So I'm surprised we got the halt down immediately. You know, resumption lower, and so, you know, do we need to go as low as 60, or do we go sideways here and then we see something? So of course, being that it's pulling back, I'll have smaller size. Gonna drop down to 1500 again. We must not give back money on the consolidation. We've already gotten caught in too many big pullbacks today. If the halt down is too close to where we are, not touching it. So here we go. It's coming up here. Oh, man. Why is it so slow to move? It's taking the right trades again and then not capturing it. Out too soon. So it's getting halted up. We need to see something good on this resumption here, man. We need it, and hopefully a little bit more range for a break of 2. If the halt up is at like 205, 210, then, you know, we're not going to get anything here. It feels too tight though. It's like the more expensive it is, the farther away the band should be, but it's starting to feel too tight. If this one is tight as well, I'm going to stop trading it, because it's not going to make sense. There's not enough room to capitalize before the halt level. So either that, or can we see, you know, maybe a consolidation here at the highs, and then, you know, the halt levels have time to kind of reset and move away a little bit. And we can see a setup. Because the resumptions are a lot of price action, you know, price action, watching for that edge. And NOx have been mentioned, I think. Was that a little earlier? Eric Green in the green. This is ridiculous, man. How do I start this day down $1,000? Come on. Okay, 400, 500, but 1,000. That's just ridiculous. Not that $1,000 is like a lot, or anything crazy, like in the grand scheme of trading and everything like that. But, you know, to position ourselves for a nice green day, you know, we really got to avoid that red start, man. Like 300, you know, 400, a few scratch trades. But what I'll say is that, you know, with the amount of size and shares I'm using, it does show that when things are good, and we've seen this the last couple of weeks, of course, when things are good and working, like when the stocks are going up, you know, we'll be up a couple $1,000s pretty quickly. It's just a matter of being accurate with the trades, you know, avoiding the losses. Like, you know, can you navigate and you know, dodge the bullets? Sometimes for me, I can't avoid them the way how I'm trading. You just have to, you know, take it on the chin, smile, move forward, just to keep composure, and just keep watching for the next A quality trade. I haven't seen any P&Ls yet, so, you know, I don't know. Maybe the guys are more than likely doing good though, but, you know, I don't know. We'll see. Resumption time, 30, was it 39? Yeah, 39.45. Can we see something incredible from this stock, man? Can we see something incredible? You guys know I'm an optimist. Hope for the best, but also preparing and managing risk, right? Hope for the best and prepare for the worst. It's the saying. Can we see a resumption, you know, right at $2 or something? Can we hold the level? Can we push 210, 215, 220? If the halt levels say like 212, man, you know, it's just too tight. It's like if you're not holding at 80 or whatever, maybe lower, you know, there's only 10 cents of room. So here we go. It's coming up another 40 seconds or so. Cactus. Yeah, I'm watching to see, man. If you're too tight, I might not even touch it. Because, you know, a couple of cents, not going to be worth it. Yeah, everybody waiting for the resumption. So here we go. Hands in the buy button, cutting the chatter. 10 seconds. Smaller size here for me. Can we see a dip? Can we see a dip? Oh, it's gonna dip. It's a little choppy in there for me though. Not great that we had the loss. Good. This is good. This is great. That's not bad. All right. That was good. That was pretty good. That was excellent. Um, Let me see this loss here. Yeah, we took a good sized loss. I probably could have waited here. It's another aggressive kind of entry. For a second, I thought it wasn't going to pull back, so I bought it a little higher, watching for the next halt level. But good buyers at 2. This is what we would want to see out of the resumption, right? So we resume. I thought the halt level could have potentially been right at like 210, 212. It's a little higher than that, which is great. So we got 18. What makes it good is if we can dip and hold the dip, right? So whether the dip comes to 93 or $2, can we hold that level? If we do, if it was 93, it would have been even better, because now more room back to 18. But this is where things get a little too crazy though, because this is the second one in a row. Was this one, two? Is this the second one? One, two. If it gets halted up again after this, is where I stop trading them. So this one I'll watch again, and we'll see. But I'm gonna be careful. I might come down in size even more. But that's good. If you don't get caught in that higher buy, you're buying right at 202, 201, tight stops, and it's a nice move. There's 10 to 18 cents of opportunity. Yeah, 231, an area to watch out for. Looking at my Think or Swim daily chart, it was so compressed, man. Well, yeah, looking at it on E-Trade, like I can pull this over here, right? Looking at it on E-Trade, we can see 231, and then again another, like, incline area here where we sold off, and then the 200 EMA up around 379, 380 area. Starting the day in the depths. Nothing like it. So here we are waiting. I think I might get my chair. I don't know, man. This is, what is it, 10:43? We're gonna trade all the way till 12 today. So resumption will be at 45. There might be another stock that comes along, hopefully. If there's another strong stock, tight spreads, that could be really good for us. Resumption at 45:21. About a minute, 20 seconds. Philip, best day of the year. Really nice. So depending on who you ask on, how the day has been, you'll get a different story from everyone. It's imperative for me to capitalize here. So I'm waiting to see how this, here, Kitty, I'll send it to you. I got you. 40 and 21 seconds. So 45.21. Here we go. 218. Lower resumption. A little spready. Watching for the halt up. Maybe not. See that price action, man. Maybe I need to hold a little longer in those areas. It's the third one I've missed. False halt. Halt is now at 34. It's holding so high, there's a bid. Do we need that pullback? Do we need that pullback? Low 14. 31 for the high. And okay, my share size is a little too low, being that it's holding up well. Another halt again. Share size here just at 1500. I was hoping it would give a dip back below 210, but didn't happen. I told myself 208 tight stop, 207 tight stop. But this is good. You know, how far will it go? We're now halted above that daily level at 231, which is good. Question is, can we get to the 200 EMA? Zave 2.5, holding 300 into the halt. 145,000 shares traded. See, that's how I know I haven't been pushing big volume here, right? I'm only at 50,000 shares, 60,000 shares traded. You know, this is the third halt, but it's not the third halt in a row, right? We've had candlesticks there, we've had a pullback in there. I think I like it. Again, we just have to trust the price action, be quick, and try our best not to take any sort of big loss. So we'll wait another 5 minutes. So we're back to flat after all of that trading. Ay. Back to flat. And, you know, I mentioned I'm going to get green and ease off. So I have a decision to make here. Thursday and Friday, we saw what happened. Thursday, red 300, green 700, finished the day down 900. Friday, you know, green, red, green, red, green, red. You know, up like 250, 300, and back red, and then ended the day down 140. Today, we're down 1,000 to start the day. We're now green 172. You know, should I stop right here and say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to take this green day off the table, right? The stock is halted up again. Of course, it's at the highest point it's ever been. So there is a lot of risk here. Do I want to walk away from the momentum and lock in the green day? It's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. You know, if I happen to have a big loss anywhere and I go back red, the first thing that's going to come into my head is, man, you know, why didn't I walk away, right? Now, on the other side of that, I could continue to trade this and continue to see good winning trades and, you know, push more into the green. This is what I'll do. I'll have a medium. I just said I'll size back up. What I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna size down. I'm gonna go back down to 15, and can I build more of a cushion? 172 is not enough. With big size, it's like one scratch trade, I'll be flat. So with a small size of 1500, can I be quick and nimble to have some good green trades and keep building slowly? If things were choppy, if things were sideways, if I was losing money or just not gaining ground, I'd for sure walk away. But being that this is what I was waiting for all day long and it's still strong, I'm gonna keep trading. I think it's not smart to walk away from something that I'm very successful at, especially that the stock still has room to 200 EMA. So reducing size, making sure I have a plan here. Unless I get caught in a catastrophic drop, even with a normal loss or two, we should be flat at worst case. So 52.16 for resumption. LMK in the green. Ay. Yeah, we'll continue with small size here. We got to be aware. 10 seconds. We're halted at 236. Here we go. 3, 2. Can we see a pullback in here? Another good trade there. Not being aggressive there. It's going to work though. Nice. It's going to work. We should see another halt up. That was great. It's another good resumption. And there's the halt down. Anything there is no man's land. That's the third dip, right? That was the third dip to 37, 40 area. The first one good. It immediately pulls back again to 40, but I'm not aggressive to take it. And then it goes to 58. And then from 58 down to 33 as we're halted down. This could be backside. There's the third 5-minute red candle. You guys know how I feel about it. An editor and content management. And editor and content management. The channel definitely needs some work right now, right? Relentless trader has not been putting in full effort towards the channel. It seems like there's always an opportunity cost. Save really up that much today? Jeez Louise, if he is. Nicely done. I'm not sure though. Maybe it's a joke. I haven't been reading chat. I'm looking at the halt levels up top. At the level 2 right here. I can't show the level 2 on YouTube. But yeah, this right here, if we look at IBRX, for example, it's telling me, hey, the halt up is at, the halt down is at 566. Halt up is at 699. Market price is around 640. So thanks to this level 2, I can see it. And this is from DAS Trader, but I wouldn't recommend it. There are probably better ones. Just today, it cost me a trade at the open because it's lagging. The bid and ask price are inverted, so I can't really see the price action properly. Started trading in 2017. I've been around the markets for a long time. I didn't get serious until 2018, but I didn't really start to learn until 2019 and 2020. So I had 2 years of like, kind of like a Robinhood trader, casual. Um, but I would say I was still putting effort, but I just didn't know what I was doing, right? It was just kind of aimless, really. Finally, kind of dialed in when I got into the simulation. I was trading in 2018. Um, one day trade every 5 business days, taking like, 2 trades a week. I was watching the markets every day though, but that wasn't good for the type of strategy I was going to be building towards, right? When I got to the sim is where I started trading a lot because my account was set over 25K in the sim, right? So what I could have done differently back then was maybe just, aim for a strategy that was less trades, right? So it's been uh 2 years of serious trading in the sim, and this is like my third year being live. In fact, yeah, in fact, the first of this month made my third year being in a live account. The big 200K is coming up. So resumption time 58. My math 58 and 12 seconds. Twin, I appreciate it. I've been giving out a lot of free content on YouTube, the live streams, thought process, and you know what, the main thing, right? Because we're trading different strategies, some of us. The main thing is just, the composure. Like if you ask people about me, like, they'll let you know, like I never get too upset. I'm just always, trying to be cool and manage the risk as best as I can in the trades. This stuff is very emotional, man. It's not easy. It's very emotional. The swings, it's like it's at times psychological warfare and torture. But we have to stay focused. That's what the job description requires for us to be successful. And so, we're all here accepting the challenge and just trying to improve and make progress every day. So I'm gonna cut the chatter. We got about 12 seconds. We're halted down at 33. I'm not watching for a trade here, but let's just see what it does. Here we go. It's not bad. I'm gonna watch here. No bounce. No bounce. Okay, not quite. Looks like it's struggling. So no quick halt back up. That's it. So this could be the backside potentially here. There's a good, high chance. The break of 33, the halt level is good. We got 44 out of that. So for me, watching for it to come back down to that halt level area, either at the level or even below. And if it does a quick bounce back up, I know it's serious. If not, probably another pullback or halt down. So we survived 250. It's not a great green day, but it's, definitely better than Thursday and Friday. And the red shirt, man. I don't know if it's this red shirt, but we're back to green. There's been a meme of me in the red shirts here in the community. A bit of an inside joke for the traders here. But you guys know I'm not superstitious, right? We just, some days we're just a little too aggressive, even starting today. When I took that trade into that haul down, I didn't see my entry that I looked for. I was just being too aggressive. I need to wait for the selling pressure to stop if I'm going to buy the dip. I just bought it like a madman. So rightfully so, you got to take the loss and know that you made the mistake. And of course, the stock resumed at 105 from my entry to 125. But it could have been worse because we've seen worse. We've seen stocks resume all the way at 85 cents and some crazy stuff. For those of you who are new, the longer you're here, the more experience you'll gain, and the more things you'll see. There's been some crazy stuff, man. I mean, PHUN comes to mind, LFIN, DRYS, stocks that are delisted now, even. Of course, GameStop, AMC, right? HUDI, DWAC, volatility that just you think it shouldn't even be happening. But the stocks are just going, and the capital is there, people are buying shares. And then the backside, which is always dangerous. The backside of the move, no man's land, right? Of course, that's where the day starts for the short sellers. The equal and opposite reaction. The 200 EMA is at 376. The stock got to a high of 260. I don't know if anybody is short that high up, but a good short entry, for how I'm trading and what I would be able to do is the opposite of what just happened there. So when I'm looking for the dip and I'm long and it's not bouncing, if I have shares available, immediately once I'm selling that long is where I need to be going short, because I'm selling because I think it's going to drop, right? So now you have to flip the mindset instantly and not be late on getting in the trade, getting filled. And if you're in with a good position, you're hoping this resumes even lower down to $2. Maybe you sell half and probably holding the rest all the way for low of day, if you have reasons to believe this is the backside. This one has already been strong. Can it be irrationally strong? Potentially, but I think there's like a 10% chance versus 90% chance it potentially being finished. But we'll see. All right, the volume here on the pullback so far is lighter. It still has a lot of good things going for it. It's still up 240%, so I mean, who knows? But I'm not gonna bank on it. Um, we'll see. Time will tell. For those of us who will be around, we can still continue to watch. But I know a lot of people left out already. Heading into the 9 to 5, or um, the day, heading into the day job, or maybe taking the day in a different direction. Yeah, HKD. Did I miss HKD? HKD going to 2,500. I wish those stocks would do those moves with volume. That's the only thing I would ask for, man. Can we see a stock go to like 300 with volume? GameStop was like one of the only ones for this, like the last year and a half. The rest of them, they gave some crazy opportunities, but you're only getting 50,000 shares of candlestick. So there's the resumption. Halt up is at 32. Low is at 12 for the last candle. Some people seem to still be interested in it. I'm not going to touch it here, though. Seeing a churn in the tape. People are selling, but you're seeing a little bit of buying as well. And there's 27. 35 for the halt up. 35. If it gets halted up here, it's interesting. 31, 32, 33. Well, we see it though. We need more buying here. 28. Not quite. The halt now is at 38. There it is. Will we get locked in? I trade this resumption here. It looks like we will. There's a lot of big bids in there. So people are still interested in it. People are still holding too. Because the selling pressure could have been much higher there in that consolidation for another halt down. So it's telling me people are holding shares. Like, let's say the people who bought people who bought all the way down here at like 120, 140, 180 are maybe still holding something from their positions. And people are buying back. The churn in the tape was showing that they're around like 217 area. So, okay, on the resumption, again, small size. I'm not going to size back up here. Well, not unless it breaks high of day with some crazy volume. But yeah, I'm going to keep it small and we'll see what this resumption offers here. PL, for me, the level 2 of Flash, and I'll show you here, the level 2 of Flash, certain price points, but I don't feel like it's super accurate. Like, for example, right now it's saying, hey, we can resume potentially 250. There's 275 flashing on the bids. There are days where the stock does open exactly this price, right? The highest bid right here. But there are days where it doesn't. So I just wait until I see the resumption, then I look, and make a decision. So we'll see. We'll see where it resumes. We're halted up here at 38. It could be sideways, right? It could be higher, it could be lower. Generally, if we open up higher, the stocks usually go up even higher. They go up more. And then I always watch for a pullback. If I'm being ultra aggressive, I sometimes buy for that breakout on the higher resumption, but it's such a tricky trade. It's really high risk. I mean, you're buying the highest possible point, right? So I'd watch for like a small pullback. If we can hold up, I jump in and then watch for the retest of the highs. If we open up sideways, it's that same type of trade. Are we going to see volume to the buy or to the sell side? And you can make a decision as to what you want to do for a scalp. And of course, if it opens up lower, I'd watch for a break through the halt level that we were just at, right? Some people, they would never touch a halt, and I understand. I understand very well why they wouldn't. They'd prefer just to be in holding, again, 180. Can I be in at 180, good size, and just unwinding shares throughout all of this? So, some people, they're going to say it's too risky, it's too fast, which I understand. But for me, it's a matter of just sticking to the discipline, man, and just one of two things. I need to be just right. I can't be too aggressive, and I can't be too fearful. You know, Sometimes we get so aggressive that we just take the entry too early when the entry's not even there. So I'm basically buying in a random place, which is gambling, right? And we're not here to gamble, so that discipline needs to stay in place. And on the side of fear, if I see the entry exactly like I want to see it, but then I hesitate, I've already missed the trade because the vol it's so fast, right? People say Relentless, you're in and out so quickly. It's funny because to me, a lot of the trades, they're like an eternity. It's a very different point of view from someone who's holding for 15 minutes on average, 20 minutes in the trades, right? Even 5 minutes for every single trade. We got another minute. The longest I hold is when I'm in a 5 minute pullback and I get it nicely at support. My stop will be right at the lows of the support or right below, the keep area. And those trades I can hold for 10, 15, 20 minutes. But that setup, because of the type of setup it is and the candlesticks and the formation of the pattern, it's one of those patterns that are reoccurring much less than, let's say, a 1 minute candle to make the new high, or a price action trade of some sort. So that's why you guys don't see me in as many of those trades. But anyhow, cutting the chatter, we got 10 seconds here. Let's see what it does. We're halted at 138. Here we go. 3, 2, 238. Good resumption, 250. I'm a little late to buy. That's a great trade there. We'll get another dip. No, it might get halted up here. That was beautiful. High resumption there, right? High resumption. Okay, I'm going to size back up a little bit more now. 25. We're now at 428 on the day. So if we did resume at 250 in this situation here, where the halt level is showing on level 2. Scotty, it depends. The reason why I'll get filled, and it's why I sometimes go in so aggressively if I think the stock is in a support zone. If the stock is flushing down, but I have reasons to believe support is right where the stock is at that moment in time, when I buy market, I get the fill on the bid sometimes because of all the selling at the bid price that's going through in that moment. People who are in higher trying to get out, or people who might even be in lower taking profits is just hitting the bids. And so it's like, I'll gladly take that bid at that particular price because I feel like that's where the stock is going to stop dropping. Of course, we saw, the stock kept dropping today, but yeah, I'll get filled on the bids. But the issue is if there's a big spread. These people are trying to make money off of us. If there's a 20-cent spread, despite all the selling going through at the bids, and I should be filled at the bids, they fill me on the ask. And it's like they probably pay themselves that difference right away. I mean, we know how it goes. The market makers, right? The brokers. So it is imperative that when there is a spread, anything that you're not comfortable with, that you place a limit order at the bids or a marketable limit order with an offset if that's what if you don't mind the slippage. Because you can say, hey, fill me 2 cents above the bid price to try to get yourself filled, even though that's not going to guarantee you a fill, right? And of course, with the limit orders, if you put out your limit order, and that happened to me today, if you put out the limit order and the stock keeps dropping, wherever you put the limit, that last bid is where you're going to be filled. They're not going to fill you lower. So that's another way they'll, essentially make money, right? Okay, yeah, this guy, he put out his order a millisecond early. We're going to fill him at 271 versus 265 where the bid price is now at. So despite me seeing 65 on the tape, my order showing up as 71 a second later, filling me at that exact price. But you can just say that's the delay in the system showing on screen that I got filled for that particular situation. But the market makers and these platforms, they're out to get us, right? It's not a secret. They're trying to make as much money as they can from us. Other times it's straight luck. I watched back some older videos where there's 50-cent spread. They filled me on the bids. I'm like, what? How? Not today. Today, if I do that, I'm down 50 cents instantly. And it's not a good situation to be in because you then have to hope the spreads tighten up, the ask price pulls away, and then even then the spread you might be up 40 cents on the ask, but you're flat on the bids, and so you got to try and sell on the ask. If the buying stops, you don't get filled. Just like that, you took on an extraordinary amount of risk for a flat or losing trade. It's why the spready stocks are so tricky. Some of these guys in Discord, they buy market every time and they still make money. It's ridiculous. So you gotta really dial in and be very careful as to where you're putting out the orders and why. Spreads have to tighten up for that split second. $15 and 47 seconds. So we got about a minute or less than a minute to go here. Some brokers will fill you on the ask every time you use a market. Think or swim, it's like half the times. Be careful and pay attention for that. Seven seconds. We're halted at 267. Here we go. 280 resumption. No, 55 lower resumption. Very tricky, very tricky. There's a 5 cent spread here times 2. No trades there for me. Thought it was a little too weak. I'm gonna watch for a trade here. That's 4 times today. The delay. There might have been a hidden seller there. That's why, though. Oh, false halt. I like that we're seeing some candlesticks, actually. It's not bad here. Low at 66 for the last. I would love to see a pullback, but it doesn't seem like it's, coming. Keep waiting, though. Yeah, we're not seeing a pullback here. Okay, at this point, we might as well get locked in. Can we get halted up? Can we get locked in and try for high of day resumption at $3 again? Halting out 85. Didn't trust the pullback at 45 because we opened up lower. Didn't want to get, selling it at the very lows into the halt down or even getting caught into the halt down. No halt. Are we going to see a pullback? Low of the last, 66. Still not seeing a pullback, and we're still not seeing a halt up. Which way is it going to be? Okay, we're seeing some more buyers. Okay, can we get the halt up right here at 85? A lot of selling. Where are those big bids? 87 for the halt up. It's trying, but a lot of selling. I don't like this. This is where we, again, sometimes you can see a bigger pullback, so we'll have to be careful here. I'm gonna size down again. I don't need to be taking a 20 cent loss. Come on. If it gets locked in here, it has to open higher. We don't want that lower resumption again. The halt level might get pushed higher if we don't get locked in. It's still at 87 though. 80. We're still not seeing a lot of selling pressure, so I'm not sure though. Are people still holding? I mean, people might still be holding. We'll know when we see that big drop come, right? That's when the selling starts. So people are still holding. How can we get locked in here? Come on, come on, come on. 26.30. Good, good. We're seeing some more bits. 40. Good. All right. Good. Lovely. It looks like it'll get locked. Okay, good. Locked in. Daniel, green 173. Nicely done. Moved into the sim to finish. Nicely done, man. It looks like we got a lot of people in Discord back to green, which is nice to see. Save. Hopefully Marcelo had a nice day as well today. Save back in the green. Nicely done. Crispy in the green as well. Nicely done. I love to see this, man. I love to see it. I love to see it. Parjan, nice day. For any of us who might be red, it's the same energy, right? Let's continue to stay disciplined. Let's continue to focus on the A quality opportunities. When I was when I was a little newer, right? Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, especially in the sim, on days like today, I could do nothing but watch. Despite seeing the entries, I just didn't have the courage to jump in. It took me so long, especially the higher price point of like 15, 10, 20. I would not jump in, man. It took me like a year to get over that. But you know what I had to do was start with small size. And then I gained confidence. It's like, man, okay, I took 200 shares and I connected on the trade that I've been seeing this entire time. You do that a couple times, you start, it's like, okay, let me push my size back up like I usually would trade those cheaper stocks, understanding that, yeah, the risk is a little different. So I'm going to still manage. Might not go 3,000, but I'll go 1,500 here on this $10 stock. And before you know it, I'm connecting on the same trades. And then the confidence is there, and before you know it, you're seeing gains on the more expensive stocks on the same setups. So even here, being that this one is at $2, it's still very volatile, still pretty risky. So it's a matter of gaining the confidence to get in where you need to get in, and cut the loss where you need to cut the loss. And you can always use small size to mitigate the risk, right? 1 share, 10 shares, 5 shares to get your feet wet, and then again build the confidence, build the experience. 2609 for resumption. 2609. I think it looks good here. I'm going to try and hit it here. 2,000 shares. Can we capture a nice trade? Again, not going full size. It's currently 11:24. 70 degrees as the summertime is finally back. If you guys don't know, I am South American, right? And down there it's like 80 degrees every day where I'm from, in Guyana. So it's the only English speaking country, so unfortunately I don't speak any Spanish or Portuguese, which is an L, because it would have been lovely to be able to be bilingual. But anyhow, yeah, it's like 80 degrees every day. So you know, this wintertime thing, you know, I don't like it, man. I can tolerate it. It's okay. But if I can choose, you know, and eventually when I do, I'm gonna be out of here. But moving is always tricky. All right, let's cut the chatter. We got about 30 seconds. Let's get ready. 2609, 2609. 19 seconds and counting. No fear, no hesitation. Once again, hands on the buy button. We're halted at 87. 10, 9, 8, 7. Here we go. 3, 2. Lower resumption. And halt right down. Yeah, I'm thinking this is where I call it. I was hoping it would give one last hurrah, man. Look at the halt up at 302, which is pretty tight. What we needed there was one of those resumptions that we had, for, you know, that came at 250. I think it was like 20 cents higher. If we go from 87 to, let's say, $3 resumption, then we can push 325, 330 easily and get halted up again. And then the short sellers, if they're still in, really get squeezed. Yeah, I think this is where I might ease it off. It's showing some weakness up here, so I think this might be a good place to call it. We can reduce size again. Just you know, take it easy the rest of the day. 400 bucks. I'll take it. You know, it's a decent day. But again, you know, it's like if we can avoid that red start, you know, there we are up 1400 is a much better day. It's a much better day. In fact, we're up more than that because actually are we? No, we're not. Yeah, we'd be up 1400. Going red, man, it's never fun. You gotta make back all those losses, man. $1,000 in losses just to be at zero. I started the day at zero already. You know, come on. So yeah, for those of you guys going the distance, right? Continue to trade smart. Continue to trade setups. Uh, you know, keep that good composure, right? No matter even if you're frustrated right now, if you're upset with how you traded, again, you gotta keep that level mind. So even if it means shutting it down, taking the necessary lessons, coming back tomorrow, you know, that's the way to go, right? Come back with a level head, come back feeling good, being ready, and you know, we hope for a much better day. And you know, I don't want to panic and like go crazy with the adjustments, but these last 3 days have been terrible with me starting red. So, and this has been a problem for me before the last like 2 months. Um, I think I just got to be more careful, man. I got to avoid, and that's you know, I got to avoid and I wrote this thing down here and didn't look at it this morning actually. The high of day dips worked. So today, you know, we didn't really get a lot of big sell-offs in those moments on the front side. But avoid the first 1 minute pullback, let it bottom out. That's what I wrote down on Friday. I have to tape this on the screen, that's why I forgot. But you know, I did remember though, you know, in the pre-market statements I was saying in the opening statement, I was saying not to give back on the dips, but I have to avoid the dip altogether right now. So capture tomorrow morning, capture the front side of the stocks that are going to move up. Do not trade the pullback. Do not trade the pullback. Once you start getting the first red candle on the 1 minute, do not touch it. Do not touch it. That way I can avoid that loss in that big flush. And then it seems like we're getting a hot stock still, but it's coming later. So wait for like 10 a.m. So if I can get small green, great. At the worst case, we're break even. And then around 10 a.m., that's where that hot stock seems to be coming. That's the moment we start to really dial in and the day really starts. So that's the game plan. That way we can see some big green days. and manage the day, manage the risk much better. So yeah, if you're going the distance, trade smart, trade setups, stay locked in, stay dialed in. And it's been Relentless Trader here. If you guys have any quick questions towards the end, anything important that I might have missed, be sure to type it up right now. And in the next 5 minutes, we will be out of here. Don't forget to submit your video for the for the chance at winning a free membership, right, for the course. We're giving away two. We decided to give away two, being that it's, Marcelo and myself, two YouTube channels, two teachers. We decided, let's give away two. And there's been some great videos submitted so far, man. So shout out to all the participants, really. Reina, how you doing? Do I follow cricket? Reina, where are you from? I don't, but of course in Guyana, it's pretty big, right? We used to root for the West Indies team, right? They had some great players back in the days, man. I still remember a few of them. Brian Lara, definitely a name that comes to mind. There's a couple other guys that were pretty good. The Pakistani, yeah, yep, your guys' team is pretty good too, right? Yeah, cricket is pretty big, man. Here in America, people don't really care about cricket like that. Over here it's like the American football is the biggest thing. There's basketball and then hockey, maybe even tennis. But yeah, cricket, man. In the UK, cricket is pretty big. Nice sport, fun. Uh, you know, Grew up playing cricket in the streets, man. Grew up playing cricket in the streets. The lifestyle in these other countries is a whole different lifestyle from living here in the States. Total different thing, man. Cost of living is like so low, but then if you're living there and you're in Guyana, it's like if you don't own a business of some sort, or have like a nice important government job, it's like if you don't have that type of stuff going, it's like it's not great. But people manage, right? People manage. It- there's always going to be problems, right? No matter where you are, but it's a very slow, like laid back kind of lifestyle. And I love the fact that the trees in your yard have fruits. In America, it's so crazy that like, sometimes even I wouldn't be surprised if you have to have a permit to have a fruit tree, a certain type of fruit tree in your yard. I mean, it's really crazy. Never in my life here in the States I've seen a fruit tree in a yard. People have small gardens, but like a big fruit tree, nope. In our yard in Guyana, we had a cherry tree. There's something called sapadilla. Sapadilla. We had coconut trees, of course. Serapel. I don't even know how to explain. Maybe I can look this stuff on YouTube and show some pictures. And then my father had a mango tree. I mean, being able to just pick fruits right there and eat, it's crazy. Everything here in America is monetized. Yeah, in California, some people do have the orange trees, right? Certain places. Fruit trees in Florida. Lunch, yeah, it's almost lunchtime, right? I mean, time is going fast here. Passion fruit. Where I used to go to school, there was this nice passion fruit tree, man. We'd always go and knock them down. All sorts of fruits. Fruit salad. We sliced up some pineapples a few days ago, and I don't know, man. It's like the pineapples didn't last long. So I gotta go and buy another pineapple, dice it up. Pineapples right now, is like my one of my top fruits. Tangerines, pineapples, can't go wrong. Some cantaloupe. Watermelon is usually pretty good. You know, for all I don't usually I don't usually ever talk like this on here, but for all the fellas, you know, I highly recommend watermelon, right? Trust me. Trust and believe in watermelon. It's pretty good for you. Um, Reina, yeah, watermelon is pretty good. Okay, I was gonna go deeper, but I'm still thinking, I'm debating myself if I should. I mean, we're all adults here, right? Keeps the shorts away. Wish fruit? And I know depending on where we're from, like, we'll have different fruits, different names for fruits. Carvana is still moving up. I told myself to trade till 12. I mean, it's 11:30 though. CVNA, slow and steady. The question are we gonna see anything else? SMX, SMX trying. Maybe this one gives a small push later. PACW ended up pulling back, selling off. IMRN. I still don't know why I touched this stock. This is so poor on my behalf. When I used to have more red days earlier when I went live, it's because of this. I saw the risk when I first pulled it up. Why did I do it? Why? It's like, why did I just waste $200? So avoidable. But it's hard for me sometimes because of the optimism. It's like, oh, I can make money here still. It kills me. It's killing me slowly. So again, staying balanced and being honest with myself in the moment. Hey, this is too much risk. Let's just avoid it. Let's just avoid it. It's too much risk. Bids are dropping out. No need to find out, right? It's like that meme that's been going around online. There's no need to find out right there. Like, let's just not find out at all. Aggressive buy here. Actually, yeah. No, well, no, this was a decent trade. This was a disaster though. Ay, ay, ay. This is the same trade I took, and this is the same trade I took Friday with that 7,500 shares for those of you who are watching. We've had resistance, 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 resistance. We break above the resistance. Usually when we dip back into the level, there's nice support and then continuation. It just flushes down. And thank goodness I didn't take like 5,000 size because I love these trades, right? But the market sentiment. There are days where this is going to work for weeks on end. And for some strange reason, the market switches up a little bit. What was working yesterday and the week before is now a little shaky and tricky. So it's just telling me to stay away. That's what I do. Just stay away if I bet, as best as I can. So tomorrow I'll have to be careful for this again. And I think this was the right move, small size. But unfortunately, even with just 1,000 shares, which I went in with 1,000 shares because I know to myself, it's hard for me to get hurt using this size. And I still take a $300 loss, 30 cents. So if I went in 2,500 full size, just like that, I'm down 750. I mean, it's ridiculous how fast the stocks can drop sometimes. But in the end, we did our best, and using this size was the best thing we could have done, because imagine starting the day down 1,700. We would have still been red. SMX. Oh, SMX fell back down, man. Not good. How are we doing on TRVN? When is the resumption here? Resumption. It's a 10-minute and 2 minutes. But all right, guys, that's it. Take it easy. Stay safe. Stay green. We're overdoing it. So 4:25 to end the day. Tomorrow we'll be back and hopefully for a much better day in the markets. All right. Hit the thumbs up. I'll be live again around 9:15 a.m. So you guys can tune in around that time. I'll send out an alert in the Discord. Be sure to check out the links down below. Of course, Discord is our chat room. You can check out the course website as well for MMU, Merciless Markets University. All right, and check out Momo Pro as well. Right, when it comes to the gap scan and what we're trading throughout the day, this is where I usually will come and get my watch list stocks. Right, TRVN, BLCM. Somebody's cutting grass out there, and so forth. So stay safe, stay green. It's been a Relentless Trader, and I am, of course, signing out.